Congratulations! If you're watching this video, it's likely that you recently invested in a new pair of hearing devices. Whether this is your first pair or if you've been wearing hearing aids for years, I want to share with you my experience and how you can get the most out of your investment. There are three main topics I want to cover today: the importance of a daily routine, why the initial sound quality may be different than you had thought, and why adjustments over time are so critical to your success. The most important thing to do when you get a new pair of hearing devices is establish a daily routine. It's really important that the brain has consistency so it understands what to do with the new input it's receiving. If you don't wear your devices every day, the brain gets confused and thinks, which way am I supposed to hear? The way I hear without the devices, or the way I hear with my hearing aids in? Wear the devices even when you don't think you need them, because that is stimulating your brain by wearing them and hearing environmental sounds. So get into a routine. It's super important. Put them in first thing in the morning, take them out right before you go to bed at night. Now, if you can't do that right away, don't worry. At first, you might experience a little bit of itching in your ears. That's normal just from the friction of having something new in the ear canal. The ear only has one layer of skin, so it's uber sensitive, and over time that friction will reduce and you won't notice the devices in your ears anymore. To help with itching, we do have something called Pro Ear available in the office. It's an all-natural oil. We can sell you a small bottle of it. It lasts a very long time, and that will reduce the friction and reduce that itching sensation at first. So make sure, if that's bothering you, to ask your audiologist. Initially, some sounds may seem artificial. A lot of times people say, why is everything so tinny? When you have high frequency or high pitch hearing loss, which is the most common type of hearing loss, you miss out on all of the consonant sounds of speech, right? And that impacts clarity. When we try to restore and bring back up those high frequency sounds to get you back the clarity you need for speech understanding, at first it seems a little tinny. If you can envision the inner ear, the hair cell that was, when normal, standing up straight when there was no damage, and now today those hair cells have fallen down and have become a little lazy or dormant, and we're trying to get more energy to those hair cells to stand them back up. And at first, it's not 100% comfortable because it sounds different, but different is good. Different means we're doing something, and tinny is good. That actually means we're giving you back the high pitch, and that's what you desperately need for clarity. Adjustments to the hearing devices are critical. Please keep your follow-up visits because we can see your progress over time by downloading some of the log data on the hearing aid chip. That gives us a lot of good information so we know how to better program the technology for you. And again, we need to slowly raise those high frequencies to get you to full prescription strength for maximum clarity. That doesn't happen overnight. Think of it like your physical therapy follow-up visits. If you've ever had to do that, we see multiple visits in order to get to that full target, that full prescription. Once we can get to that full prescription, we can do what are called real ear measurements, where we put a probe tube microphone in the ear canal with the hearing aid to see what the output at the eardrum is exactly. When we get to full corrective or full prescription strength, we can verify this with those probe tube microphone measurements that we refer to as real ear, because we're using your actual ear to measure what's going on at the eardrum. So we want to do that eventually once we have fully adapted to the hearing aids, or once you have fully adapted to the hearing aids, but that takes daily use. Understanding that at times things might sound a little funny, and that I'm doing the follow-up visits so that I can get to the end goal, which is maximum benefit from your investment. One other thing I would say that often is mentioned to us when you first get hearing aids is that your voice sounds funny to you. Just know your voice only sounds differently to you, not to the outside world. So your mouth is the closest thing, whether they're in the ear hearing aids or behind the ear hearing aids, your mouth is very close to the microphones of those devices, right? And so you're going to hear your voice differently. So it's natural at first to maybe talk a little quieter, talk a little softer when you're wearing new hearing aids. And that's because you're so aware of how your voice sounds to you in this new format. Over time, again, your brain will get used to this sound. It will habituate to it. It will no longer attend to that difference, the change that you're perceiving. We can also make some adjustments for your own voice as well if it's really offensive. But if it just sounds different, that's normal. We don't want it to sound offensive, like it's going to give you a headache and it's so loud in your head. If that's the case, we can turn things down a bit. But in general, just know your voice sounding funny or different to you is normal, and that will go away with time. When you look at the research, people take 12 weeks minimum to fully adjust to their hearing aids. Be patient. Understand there's a big process going on here between the ear and the brain, and we need to give it time to adjust to that new input. If I had any words of advice for family members, just know that this is hard work, so have a little patience with them as well. They're not going to hear perfectly the first week or two with their new hearing aids. It's also good communication habit to get the person's attention first before speaking to them. So instead of just saying, "What do you want for dinner?" you would say, "Patrick," get their attention. "Patrick, what would you like for dinner tonight?" Because sometimes it's not that we don't hear each other in communication, it's that the other person maybe isn't ready for the message and they're not fully listening to us because they're thinking of something else or they're attending to something else. I hope these tips and advice help you, and we look forward to seeing you in the office soon.